Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I decided to paint peonies, but I think they look suspiciously like roses. I have some peony painting, a peony painting. I did it many years ago, and these do look like peonies, don't they? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment. I'm using acrylic paint and a 9x12 canvas panel, a 3/4 inch flat, 1/2 inch flat, and a liner brush, and that's all I used, I think, in this painting. I started off with primary yellow on the right hand side and then decided I needed a tabletop, so I used raw sienna and alizarin crimson for my tabletop, and then I used French ultramarine blue for the left hand side of the canvas, which mixed with the yellow to make a greenish colour. I put some titanium white on that top 2/3 of the painting and got a sort of mistiness, which I like behind my roses, I think, or my peonies. I think they show up very well. See, I can't even get the name right. I really am not certain about these peonies, but I thought I'd show you anyway. I show you my failures as well as my good stuff, and hope that you'll get something from it. Here's where I add the titanium white, and using a crisscross stroke I blend it all in. I haven't washed my brush out between, and so it's a bit on the blue side, but I don't mind. I'm okay with mixing my paints up on the canvas. I think I get some interesting colours that way, and I'm not a very detailed painter, so I like the serendipity quality and just seeing what comes out. I like things to surprise me. I didn't show you the glass vase, but basically I decided the light was coming from the right, so the right hand side of the vase will be much brighter than the left hand side of the vase where the light is exiting. The light is going through water, past stems, there are leaves, and it dims that brightness down, and so I just use straight titanium white to do this, and then for the dimmer side I add a little green or a little yellow, just something to bring the colour off of that sharp whiteness. And to make it represent glass, you have to see things through it, so you don't want to cover it up with too much white. You need to allow the background to shine through. I'm putting on a base colour of dark pink for the peonies, over which I'll add little short strokes to indicate the inside petals, and hopefully that will make it look more peony-like, but it doesn't, does it? It made it look quite like roses. I have to practice my peonies, obviously. They are a lovely flower, and I just have not thought of painting them before. I just happened to go through my storage unit and find this painting of peonies that I did a long time ago. Must be 15 years or so ago that I did that painting. I've sold lots of prints of it, but I've never sold the original because I like it too much to give it away. And so I've kept it, and then I thought, oh, that's a flower that I could paint for my channel. Obviously I need to practice. I'm mixing titanium white, which is opaque, with alizarin crimson, which is transparent, and that gives me a pale opaque pink, because I think most of the peonies I've seen are pink. I'm not sure if they come in other colours. I think they come in white or close to white, but my experience has been with pink peonies. My mother used to grow them in her garden, and so that's what I'm painting. I'm using short little dabs to indicate the tops of petals inside the flower, and I'll reserve the longer strokes of petal for the outer edges where we see more of the petal. I have a suspicion that these peonies look more like roses because I'm using the same strokes that I used to paint roses. I obviously have to look at some pictures of peonies and get them in my head. I find if I can get something in my head, I can paint it. But I really have to look at a lot of Google images of peonies before I can do that. Once I've got that image stuck there, then I can paint it. It's the same way I learned to paint roses in the first place. And I don't know why my previous peonies, because I've only ever done them about once, that one time, turned out so well. I must have looked at a lot of paintings or a lot of photographs of peonies to be able to do that. I find that's a good way to get the image correct, is to go to Google, look at Google images and look at not only photographs but paintings, see what other people have done, and get that image stuck in your head, and then once you've got it there you can bring it out at the end of the brush. But you really need to know what you're looking at. I did regular leaf shape. I think the actual peony leaves are a bit longer than this and a little different, but by the time I got to leaves I was a bit done in, and so I did regular, what I think of as leaf shapes, and the best I could do was put a shadow side and a highlighted side on them and call it a day at that. This is not one of my best paintings, although I quite like the painting as it turned out. But I'm not going to label it peonies or roses. I will say I like the way the vase turned out. I think that was a very nice glass vase. And I'm going to call it a day. I don't think you can get much more out of this painting. I've told you everything that I did, and we'll call it a day. Thanks for watching. I'll try peonies again sometime and maybe be more successful at it. I hope you got something out of watching this video anyway. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for liking and subscribing. That has helped my channel grow a little bit faster. It doesn't cost you anything and nobody's going to bug you. And it helps my channel grow. So thank you to everyone who's done that for me.